Long time ago there lived an woodcutter whose name was Jackson. One day he was passing by a magnificent palace carrying a bunch of wooden logs. Tired by the weight of the logs, he placed the bunch on a side and sat down to rest under a tree in the palace. He started wondering about the majesty of the palace and was sure its owner must be some extremely rich man living a luxurious life. He asked a passerby, "Sir, whose palace is this?" The passerby replied with surprise, "Don't you know that this is Axon, the sailor's palace?" Hearing this, the woodcutter looked towards the sky and muttered, "Wow, Lord, the names Axon and Jackson are so similar, but the difference is huge. He's so rich and I'm so poor." By chance, Axon the sailor was passing from there at that time, and he heard the time-worn woodcutter's saddened discourse. He said to the woodcutter, "God does not waste anyone's effort. I have earned all this with a lot of hard work, intelligence, and struggle." Axon took the old woodcutter into his palace, where his friends were also present. Taking his place at the highest seat, he started telling his story to Jackson. "I am the only child of a wealthy trader. After my parents' death, I inherited a lot of wealth, which I started spending extravagantly. Gradually, the riches drained, and all my friends and families left my side. Then I understood that money should be wisely spent and one should not turn away from the work. One should keep on working as money does not always stay. Thinking so, I collected the leftover savings, bought trade goods, and started my voyage on a ship. The destination was subcontinent. Sailing on a ship through the sea, every time our ship stopped at a place, I would sell my goods and buy new ones, which were very profitable for me. One day, our ship stopped at a small island and we went ashore to look around. My love for exploring took me far away on my stroll of this new place, when suddenly I felt the tremors of an earthquake. The ship's captain shouted, "Run, run, this is not an island, we are walking on the back of a fish." Everyone started running towards the ship, but I was at a greater distance and could not reach the ship in time. The fish went into the water and I was left floating on the surface. I was pushing and kicking, trying to get closer to the ship, while the water waves acting against me pushed me to the other side. And then I fainted. Regaining my consciousness, I found myself on some island. I roamed around alone for a few days, surviving on wild fruits and raw leaves. Then one day I met a few people who listened to my story and took me to their king. The king was a kind-hearted and God-fearing man. He provided me with food, clothes, and gave me a house to live in. Some days later, I heard about a ship that had come to the shore here. I rushed towards it and found it was the same one which had all of my goods. The honest captain recognized and hugged me at once and returned my belongings to me. Once again, we started our journey towards the subcontinent, where I sold my merchandise at a good price and came back to our country. Axon the sailor said, "This was the tale of my first voyage. I went on 7 unusual trips and bore difficulties, but never scared off from trying and working hard." Giving gold coins to Jackson, he said, "Jackson, greatness is in hard work. Have faith in God and always keep on trying. God blesses the hard workers and the patient."